This is Vanessa, I'm a knitwear designer from Barcelona, and you're watching my knitting vlog, my journal where I share my works in progress, what I have on my needles. Sometimes I explain a bit of the progress of the bigger projects I'm working on, and basically I just share my knitting journey with you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm not home today. This is the family home. I'm spending the weekend here. I brought some of my weeps and stuff that I had around that I wanted to show and record with me from Barcelona. Carried a big bag of knitting, and I actually did not expect it to get this cold. It's so nice to be here by the fireplace, and this is definitely one of the things that I miss the most in Barcelona, so it's nice to be here. I'll be talking about some of the things that I'm planning to publish in the forthcoming months today. And as per usual, I also like to show you some old designs that I'm trying to give some love to. Beginning with the one that I'll be showing you now. A design that was originally intended to be one of the designs of my book. I'm working on a book of patterns. You may know that already, I've mentioned this before. It's a big project, and as is often the case with big projects, I've been very enthusiastic about it, then had a bit of a rough time with it, and then felt very enthusiastic about it again. And you know, those up and down fluctuations of your mood when you're working on something that requires a lot of effort and attention on your part. It's actually pretty much ready. I'm only missing one of the designs that's currently being finished, and testing for most of the patterns has been done, and very little is left to finish. So we will very quickly move on to production, and that's fun because I actually enjoy the production aspect of my job. I worked for many years producing stuff, making things happen, big events, big events, and planning releases for records. But anyway, a book and a record are pretty much the same thing when it comes to production. So I enjoy that part of the job, and I'm looking forward to diving into that last iteration of the book publishing adventure that I've dived myself into this year. Now, anyway, the first design I'm going to show you, it was meant to be a design for the book, but it somehow didn't really feel quite okay within. So the thing with the book is that you plan releases so that the result is kind of harmonious, but at the same time different things are happening, so it's not all the same design all over again. So some things designs have to have something in common, but at the same time they have to be different enough. This hat, which I utterly love, this is the Marta Beanie. It's a very minimalistic design, but I'm very proud of this pattern because it has a lot of little tricks, things I've learned along the way that make it very enjoyable to knit, and the result is so luxurious, and it looks good on many people. And actually it's a simple 1x1 rib beanie with a pretty crown, spiral crown, which I absolutely love. It's in twisted ribbing, which is, well, I've never met a twisted ribbing I did not love. And it's knit out of Aimée. This is her sock base in color Belle, Epoque, which is probably my favorite colorway of hers. And it's worked with one strand of mohair. The original is Lavender by Gregoria fibers. That's her KidsSilk base. I really love Anna's mohair. We work together. She's probably the person I talk to the most during the week. I love her work, and her yarn is astonishing. It's the best quality you can get. And yeah, this is the Marta Beanie. You can wear a single folded rim or double folded for extra warmth. And it's a design that has been knit a lot. A lot of you have knit this design. And I I think it's very wearable, and it's part of its charm. It's something that you can just put on to go to work, and it's just, I don't know, I'm not sure I'm gonna look too good on it. It's not really my size, but anyway, I love this design. It's beautiful, and I'm so happy that it gets knit so often and people like it so much. So yeah, the Marta Beanie. I'm working on second design of the Marta collection, but I won't tell you much about that. I'll tell you more about it later, perhaps in time. Too soon, but this is gonna have a second part. I wanted to show you something now that I'm talking about the book. As most knitwear designers, as most designers in the end, we all use our Pinterest boards, we all use our mood boards to try to, I think it's not only finding inspiration, which can come out of so many different places, but to focus our ideas. I think mood boards and Pinterest boards in the end help us find the focus that we need and draw connections between ideas that we have that perhaps are not obvious at first glance. I've been using Pinterest for many years and I still love it, but ever since January last year, we were amidst a very strict lockdown in Spain, and I was feeling very overwhelmed by the amount of time I was spending in front of the camera, in front of the, I was watching myself all the time. And if you've had this Zoom fatigue syndrome, you know what I'm talking about. When you see yourself all day long, it's just so exhausting. Being in front of the computer, working nonstop. So I needed something more tactile, and although knitting can definitely provide that for me, it felt a bit like work, and I would just needed a bit of a respite. So I just grabbed a notebook, a very pretty notebook, by the way, by Tina and Mia, which is, I think they are a brand from the Netherlands. I really like what they do. They have beautiful stationery. And I began to cut and paste ideas. I would print pictures on my Pinterest or pictures I found around, and I would begin to just stick them here. No need to be fancy or anything. I'm not trying to do any sort of scrapbooking, nothing. It's just the accumulation of ideas, and I would just go ahead and print and cut. This is, I mean, this is very simple stuff. It's just that by gluing things together, I would come up with ideas, and I would see things a bit differently. So color palettes, and I don't know, it's been very useful. And I've been using this notebook for a year now, and whenever I'm in need of, whenever I'm in need of focus, I would say this is it, focus. I just need to sit down and look at things differently. I just come here and my brain kind of settles down. It's been a joy to do this, and I plan on keep doing this for a long time. Now, I don't know, sometimes ideas just happen. This is this green page. I've been needing that green cardigan that I showed you in the previous episode of the blog, and that we're about to begin testing very soon. And I don't know, I would just see things differently. I wanted to show you this because I totally recommend sitting down and putting things down to paper. I've always done that. But cutting down ideas and gluing them and not expecting them to be fancy. No scrapbooking needs. Just something very straightforward. It has been so liberating for me, and I couldn't recommend it anymore. If you're a creator, if you're in need of, I don't know, any sort of focus and inspiration in your creative life, definitely the best thing I've found this year for my creativity. Yeah, so this has helped the book a lot lately. And now that I'm on the book, I'm not showing you many of the designs of the book because it's something that I'm trying to keep kind of secret. Well, secret, you know what I mean. I just want it to be very exciting when patterns are published, and I expect to be showing you a lot of them as soon as the book is published. So it's like if you've been watching me talking about a design for a year, you'll probably be so tired as soon as it's published. I don't want that. So yeah, I'm trying to keep things very quiet on the book front. But this notebook has plenty of ideas, and I might have shown you some ideas already when I was showing you some of the pages on it. Now, let me show you this. Can you see this? This is the sweetest thing. The sweetest thing. Mrs. Ginger Handmade on Ravelry, Pia has been she has been making these bags for a long time, and we're both big fans of Beatrix Potter and her tales, and we talked about it often. And she promised she'd give me a bag with her design and using some Beatrix Potter fabric that she had at home. And she's just sent me this, and I'm so overwhelmed with love. This is so beautiful. The back is so cute. This is the inside. Can you see this? The lining of the fabric is like a prettiest strawberry fabric, and little Peter Rabbit, and what else do we have here? The goose, I don't know, all of the characters of Beatrix Potter. A very sweet project bag that I plan on using non-stop. She sent it to me a few days ago. It took a while on the mail, so we were like, oh, has it been lost? I can't believe that. But it finally made it to Barcelona, and here it is. I mean, so sweet, so sweet. And this handbag was holding a design that I showed you in my previous vlog, which is this pretty cowl without a name. I mean, this cowl is gonna be published in like 2 days, 1 day, super soon, and it's still nameless. By the time this is published, maybe there'll be a name, and I'll add it somewhere. Hopefully it will have a name already. Now, it's a simple cowl with a night cord closure, which I love, and a little lace pattern. It's so sweet. And I've done this in collaboration with my friend Laura from Mimosa, and this is knit out of Shelter by Brooklyn Tweed. So good. This is, I mean, I knew this yarn was wonderful, but it's perfect. It's simply perfect. It's worsted weight. It's woolen spun, but it still has this stitch definition you would never expect it from a woolen spun, and it's just gorgeous, sweet and plushy and soft. To me, it feels a bit like the Rerum Natura, any of their Ulysse, Cyrano bases have that rustic but plushier aspect to them. This is very similar, I would say, and probably a good yarn sub would be, I think this could be Ulysse probably. I'm not sure. Ulysse is a sport weight. But anyway, any of the Rerum Natura's bases have a similar feel to it. But this has a dryness. It's drier. If you know what I mean, when you try it, you'll know. It's drier. It just feels more robust somehow. Less prone to breaking. I'm not saying that Rerum Natura is going to break. By no means. It's a fantastic yarn. It just sounds drier to me. I hope that makes any sense. It's a lovely yarn, and I know it's a very popular yarn, but until very recently it was impossible to find in Spain. So although it's the most popular everywhere, it just seems like the newest thing to me and to have on my needles. So yeah, it's fun. So I've begun a new cowl because I'd like to gift it to my friend Laura, the owner of the Mimosa Café Lanar shop I'm doing this collaboration with, and my longtime conspirator. And I'd like to give her one. So I'm knitting one out of this particular shade of Shelter. It's called Postcard. It's pink, but it's not pink. It's beige. It's got some tweedy violet, purple, blue details. I think it's a very beautiful color. It can totally look beige or violet or lavender or mauve depending on the light. I love those color shifters. And I just need the eye cord, but boy, Who doesn't love knitting I-cords? This is the funkiest, most fun thing to knit ever. So this project begins by you working an I-cord, and you dry it by hanging it so that it extends, and I don't know, it somehow gets itself together, and then you cast on the ribbing and create the little eyelets and everything. But so far this is all I've done, but by all means this is a weep, so it deserves to be included in this section. My work in progress. Here you have it, and I'm keeping this in my new Miss Ginger handmade bag, which I love. Okay, nice. Yet another whip. And you may have seen this on Instagram. This is something I've been working on and off for some time, and that I'm now very determined to finish. Again, it was an idea I had for the book, but then I thought it would not work well for the book, and it deserved a life of its own, so I gave it some of the spotlight. It's apparently a raglan v-neck with a folded, can you see the folded v-neck? I love folded v-necks. I find them very, very sweet. Don't look at the details too much because it still needs some polishing. This is one of the sleeves is done. I think one of the issues with sleeves is that we tend to leave them to the end. Whereas if you begin to knit them right before the body, they are way more comfortable to knit because the whole garment weighs much less, so it's easier for you to keep turning the garment, and the body is always fun to finish. So I think it's a good trick to begin by working at least one of the sleeves. So one of the sleeves is done, and the body is almost finished. I think it needs a couple of good knitting evenings to be done. It's a deceptively simple knit. I think a lot of things are happening in here structure-wise. Still, I would say quite easy to follow, but in appearance it does look simple, which is something I'm aiming for. And I think that when you're knitting, you want something that you can wear and very easily without even giving it a second thought. But that's fun to do, and I like this kind of projects. They have their techniques around, you can play around with options, but in the end you get a very good fitting garment that's just very, very wearable. And this is one of them. This is knit out of Paca Alpaca. Her Garnet color base, one of the prettiest deep red burgundies that you can find. Going to look for substitutes. I'm not 100% sure she's dying right now, but this is lovely as it is, and it's of course worked with one strand of mohair because I cannot seem to get enough of that. I just want to add mohair to everything I do. That's it, till the end. Mohair forever. Speaking of which, let me show you one of the designs that I'm most proud of this year, because it's got a nice story behind. I've been working on the Nutiden Yarn Appreciation Club for some months, and Caroline at Auk Cowl, the creator of Nutiden Yarn, asked me to design a v-neck sleepover vest for her. She said, I want a very deep v-neck, and I was like, okay, yes, I can do that. I can definitely do that. And so I sat down to design it. She wanted a top-down, deep v-neck vest. Now, I created the Caroline vest with her yarn, and I wanted to create this Japanese-inspired garment with big shoulders and not your average slim vest. I wanted something wide and quite of a statement. A deep v-neck, but a big shoulder, and a crop body, but not too much. I think there are plenty of v-necks vests out there, and they generally tend to be slim, vintage looking, kind of boy clothes. I don't know, they are nice. I love them all. I wanted to do something a bit different, and this is what we did. So I knit one in a very beautiful brownish beige, which is the one that you can see in the pictures. And now I decided I wanted one for myself. So I grabbed some Nutiden in this beautiful, beautiful orange, fire orange color. And here's my own Caroline vest. I asked a friend, I enlisted the help of a friend to knit this sample. And it arrived recently, so I have not been able to take pictures of it yet. It looks white and beautiful on top of dresses, which is the main, my main outfit idea for it. The vest is worked using one strand of Nutiden and one strand of mohair, or you can just achieve gauge very easily with one strand of unspun yarn. And I think it's a very good introduction to this kind of yarns because not a lot is happening structure-wise. It's just a very straightforward knit, and it allows you to just learn your way through working with unspun yarn if it's your first time trying it. So this is it. Can you see it? Maybe I will be able to take pictures of it with the pre-dress that I have reserved just for wearing this outfit. I have it in my wardrobe. I've been dying to wear it and haven't been able to yet. As soon as I can, I'm taking pictures of it because it's very beautiful. The burnt orange color must be one of my favorites. I think it's the kind of color that looks good on brunettes, that looks good on blondes, that looks good mostly on everybody. Because it's not super red, it's not super brown. I don't know, it's a very beautiful color. I feel very comfortable wearing this kind of copper, burnt orange colors. I think this suits me nicely, and I like them a lot. Yeah, now before I wrap things up, I don't have a lot with me today because I said I'm not home, so I just wrote a few things that I wanted to show you. I'm going to wrap up by recommending you a book that I've been reading. I recently subscribed to Slightly Foxed, which is a quarterly magazine, a literary magazine from England. They are based in London, if I'm not mistaken, and they publish books as well. I had bought some of their books before that, but I never subscribed to the magazine because I don't know why, because it's a perfect magazine for me. But anyway, I recently bought yet another book from them, which is this one, Drawn from Memory by E.H. Shepard. Shepard is the author of the illustrations of Winnie the Pooh and The Wind in the Willows, and this is his memory. These are his memories. He's writing about all the things that he remembers from when he was a young kid in London. There is a second part to this book where he talks about his time at the art school and his marriage, and talks a bit about his young adult life. But this one is about his childhood in Victorian London, a comfortable middle-class family, a very acute observer of everyday life, of things that seem like just extraordinary. And it's a very sweet book, as you would expect from someone who comes up with those beautiful drawings. Actually, I didn't think about it, but the Beatrix Potter connection and the Winnie the Pooh connection, those are all very, very sweet references today. For someone who's so used to highbrow literature and enjoying her thickest, most complicated literary theory books, this comes as a respite, and I find that this is probably one of the sweetest books I've ever read. It's full pack of very funny anecdotes of their family life, and if you're looking for something, just a very feel-good book of a bygone era, and by no means need to go back there because woof, some things are tough. Yes, no need to go back to Victorian England, by no means, but it's just fun to see life through the eyes of someone who remembers how he looked at things when he was a kid. I love that, and I totally recommend this book. Drawn from Memory by E.H. Shepard, published by Slightly Foxed Editions. Beautiful editions all the time. I mean, you can see this. This is so cute. Anyways, this is the vlog today. I hope you enjoy it. I'm looking forward to showing you what's gonna happen in the forthcoming months for spring and summer, which is apparently almost here. Who knows? Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and see you soon. Bye bye.